Hi, my name is Mac, and today we'll be talking about soldering a circuit. Let's go over what we're going to need today. First, the proto board, the 555 IC, capacitors, a few resistors, an LED, and some wires. We'll also need wire strippers and wire clippers, and safety glasses, as well as a tray. Furthermore, you'll need solder, a battery connector, and a soldering iron. And 350 degrees Fahrenheit is good for the heat source. So notice that we have our circuit diagram above our workstation. The first thing we can do is place the 555 IC on the proto board. You want to make sure that all of the legs go cleanly through the proto board, and you want to bend back the legs. Before we solder the IC, we want to make sure to tin the tip of the soldering iron. Now let's watch Kyle solder the chip to the board. Alright, so once we've got the IC soldered in, we can place the resistor on the board. And here's what the resistor will look like on the other side, with the legs bent back. So now you can go ahead and solder the legs of the resistor into the board and clip off the excess wire. After that, we can place the second resistor on the board and solder that. So we positioned our first capacitor and soldered it in, but unfortunately it was in the wrong position. So now Kyle's going to demonstrate how to remove solder with the solder wick. Once we've repositioned the capacitor and soldered it in, we can clip off the excess. Now we put the second capacitor into the board and solder that into place as well. Now we can solder the LED into the board and continue to snip off any excess wire. We're going to use some excess wire from one of the resistors to connect two pins of the IC. So what you want to do is place the wire directly on the board and solder it to the components. So here we can see Kyle stripping some wire to make another connection. And now he's going to place that wire to connect two of the pins of the IC on the board. So the last step is to connect the battery connector. First we're going to tin the tips of the battery connector and then attach it to the board. Alright, this is the back side of the circuit with everything in place. And here's a zoomed in view of that same circuit. And now let's see if it works. Hooray!